So I've been thinking on this and researching on this and writing my notes out on this all morning. Let's recap Donald Trump's first 60 days of his presidency, shall we? So one of Donald Trump's first executive orders was Executive Order 14160, and that was on birthright citizenship. Donald Trump issued that executive order to reinterpret the 14th Amendment and restrict birthright citizenship. This order triggered at least 10 lawsuits from state attorneys generals and civil rights organizations. By March this month, 4 federal judges issued preliminary injunctions blocking its implementation due to constitutional conflicts. So this executive order blocked. What else did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and his merry band of sycophants had invited President Zelensky to the White House to discuss peace talks between Ukraine and Russia. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and their merry band of sycophants used that opportunity to harass and bully and talk down to and denigrate President Zelensky, president of Ukraine. And they did so publicly. They did it so the entire world could see. As a result of that meeting at the White House, Donald Trump issued a temporary suspension of U.S. military aid, which further strained diplomatic relations. Not only are relationships now strained with Ukraine, relationships with our ally, Canada, have been strained. Relationships with another one of our allies, Mexico, have been strained. Relationships over in Europe, in Greenland, and other parts of the world have also been strained because of Donald Trump and his administration. What else has Donald Trump and his administration been able to do in the first 60 days of his presidency? Well, they've been able to pressure Romania to allow the Tate brothers to travel. Why did the Tate brothers have travel restrictions placed upon them? Well, the Tate brothers were being investigated and were facing charges for human trafficking, rape, forming a criminal gang to actually exploit women. But because of the hard, dedicated work from the Donald Trump administration, those travel restrictions were relieved, and the Tate brothers immediately hopped aboard a jet sent by Donald Trump and his administration, and they are now here in the United States. And yes, you're right. They will never return to Romania to face those charges. Let's keep going. Donald Trump and his administration have done so much in the first 60 days of his presidency. Next up, Donald Trump held a press conference with Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu. And during that press conference, Donald Trump talked about his plans to take over Gaza, to make it a hot destination of the world. Yeah, even put out a little video of what his plans were for Gaza.
What the fuck? Trump just posted this on Truth Social about 2 hours ago.
Donald's coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.
He called it the Riviera of the Middle East. Even said that he is not opposed to deploying American troops to get this done. Anybody heard from Rashida Tlaib? Anybody heard from the leaders out in Dearborn on what their plan is to stop this from happening? Oh, okay, but there's more. Since Donald Trump took the oath of office back on January 20th, he has issued several executive orders overturning civil rights and DEI programs and policies and laws. We just saw that he rescinded anti-segregation policies for federal contractors. Yeah, he just did that. And he also invoked the Alien Enemies Act, which he used to detain over 200 Venezuelan immigrants. And then he sent those immigrants over to a prison in El Salvador. And we are now learning that a lot of those immigrants were not criminals as he claimed they were. We all know that Donald Trump has dismantled several DEI programs across federal agencies. And he has rescinded the FFH housing rule. That is the Affirmative Further Fair Housing Rule. And that mandates that federal agencies and recipients of federal housing funds take proactive steps to address housing discrimination and segregation, ensuring equal access to opportunities for all. Yeah, Donald Trump has rescinded that. What else has Donald Trump done since he was inaugurated on January 20th? Well, he's fired 25,000 temporary and probationary federal employees. Not only that, Donald Trump has fired thousands of veterans, and he did all of that by way of Elon Musk's department, which is Doge. The whole process was a waste of time. The whole process was a waste of money because the federal government and the Trump administration were sued, and a judge has temporarily blocked it and has ordered Doge and Donald Trump to bring all of those employees back. There were other things that Donald Trump tried to do that were blocked, other executive orders that he pushed through, and federal judges was like, no, blocked. There were DEI related executive orders that were blocked by the U.S. District Court in Maryland. Refugee admission suspensions was also temporarily blocked by a federal judge. He was targeting law firms over diversity policies, which led to restraining orders by firms like Perkins and Coie. Executive Order 14187, which was restricting gender-affirming care for minors, was halted by several different federal judges in several different jurisdictions. He tried to ban transgendered people from the military, and that has also been blocked because it is unconstitutional. And we cannot forget that hoax that I believe he was trying to divert attention away from what happened in the White House with them harassing and bullying President Zelensky. They then brought out they're releasing the Epstein files. They brought all of these content creators, these right-wing MAGA nut content creators to the White House and gave them these phase 1 binders stating that these were Epstein files. Come to find out, they were documents that were already readily available out there on the internet. And whatever it is that had any real information in it, it was all redacted, all scratched out, black marks. You couldn't see what it was. And just think, all of what I've just mentioned happened from January 20th to February. We haven't even begun March. So let's get into it. Donald Trump has been rounding up immigrants, black and brown people who are not born of this country. He told them that they were only going to round up the criminals, but they are rounding them all up, whether or not they have a criminal background. Yeah, a lot of Hispanic communities are feeling betrayed. My Haitian brothers and sisters, I am praying for you. The Hispanic community, good luck to you. You voted for this. And because of him following through on his repeated promises that he will conduct the largest mass deportations in this country's history, and even said that they would be bloody, he's following through on that. And as a result of that, he's not following the law. He's not following the Constitution, which led to him arresting over 200 Venezuelan migrants, those migrants that he sent to the prison over out in El Salvador. And now he violated a federal order, an order from a judge to get that done. And now he and his attorneys are in court battling this out. Meanwhile, innocent individuals are sitting in a hardcore prison over in El Salvador, courtesy of Donald Trump and his heartless administration. And now we have Signalgate. Signalgate is the largest national security leak known in United States history. Donald Trump's officials accidentally added a journalist from The Atlantic. His name is Jeffrey Goldberg. They added him to a chat that they had over on Signal to discuss a drone strike in Yemen. None of them realized that they added a journalist to this chat that was taking place in an app that cannot be downloaded on official government phones. So that means they were using their private personal phones to have this chat conversation about war plans, confidential war plans. None of us should have known this information. And then when the journalist brought it to light, he said that he was not going to share too much more information because it was not needed to know by the American people. The American people and our adversaries, our enemies, didn't need to know this information. But what happened? Donald Trump's officials took that and said, went out there to further lie. There's congressional hearings taking place. They went under oath to lie and say that there were no war plans being had during this chat. And so, to keep the American people educated on what is happening with their government, so that the people in Congress would know what is happening with these officials and what it is that they are doing and how they are breaking the law, the journalists decided, here's the proof that yes, war plans were being made in an app that all of us can access. Anybody can go over and hack that site. And from what I understand, I'm hearing rumblings that since that chat took place, all of the people that were involved in that chat has been doxxed because they were in an app that all of us could access, that anybody could hack. Yeah, all of their information is now floating around out there on social media. That is what's currently happening. The biggest scandal that is currently happening with Donald Trump and his administration. The 60 days that Donald Trump has been in office, he has betrayed farmers. He has betrayed immigrants. He has betrayed federal employees, veterans, teachers. He has betrayed several different groups. Yeah, and a lot of those people in those groups, they would vote for him again if he were to run for another presidency, because they're more focused on owning the libs. They're more focused on making black people and people of color hurt. They're more focused on that than ever worrying about the destruction of the United States. Did I miss anything? Are we great again yet? I didn't even mention all of the other things that he's trying to do with tariffs. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. We can add that on in now. You got people over in Europe, their officials are telling them to make sure that they have enough supplies on hand at any given moment to last for 3 days. Yeah, so Europe is stocking up on food, on medication, on gas, on whatever it is that they need to last them for at least 3 days because of what Donald Trump has done in the last 60 days. Americans, we're watching Europe prepare. We need to be preparing too. Thank you everybody for watching. For more content, please make sure you hit that follow button or that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500,000 followers. If you'd like to donate to the channel, my Cash App and my Venmo are available in my link tree. Lastly, I'd like to give a very special shout out to all of my members. Thank you all for your continued support.